The anime begins when a boy named Rin Okumura sits in the class, thinking about an exorcist priest who eradicates demons that possess people and objects. However, because the public does not believe demons exist, exorcists are viewed more as faith healers or counselors. The teacher takes attendance in the class, and Rin sees a demon. He worries that if the class sees it, they will panic. Another boy, Godayan, behaves strangely in the class because he can see the demon too. Rin reassures Godayan not to worry and mentions he is an exorcist in training. Godayan cheers him on, and Rin feels he has found a friend in the same class for the first time. When Rin opens his shoe rack to get his shoes, he receives a love letter from Mephisto. After reading it, he learns his execution has been stayed. His friend reminds him that he used his blue flames in Kyoto, went berserk, and got sentenced to death. Mephisto invites him to the academy for a meeting. Meanwhile, a demon comes forward to attack Godayan. Okumura manages to get the demon away from Godayan. Godayan behave weird and strange. In the park when he and his friend are having lunch, he asks them how to stop someone from saying demon and tells them that Godayan hasn't received any tempted-like wound. He asks the same question loudly to Kamiki, but she doesn't know anything about it. After that, a girl named Shiremi receives orders from her mother to take care of the shop, and her mother advises her to study hard. Shiremi agrees and mentions she will also have Yukio as a tutor again. Yukio meets Shura and tells her he has a bad feeling because calls to the True Cross Order helpline have increased lately. Rin goes to meet Mephisto, who is waiting for him. Mephisto uses his power and asks him to have dinner, changing his clothes into formal attire. Mephisto reveals he is actually a big boss and changes the room into Gehenna, telling Rin he is the second most powerful person there, the King of Time, Samuel. Rin is surprised to learn he is a demon. Rin gets angry and tries to attack him, but Mephisto mentions he is the master of time and space and can transport minds to another dimension. He insists he is not an enemy because he is fond of humans and their creation. Rin still tries to attack him, but Mephisto stops time and seals his demon heart inside a sword, explaining that his heart and tail are his sources of power, and he will die if they are destroyed. Mephisto then changes the room again and tells Rin he will give him an eye drop to prevent someone from saying anything, but first, he has to complete a task. Rin prepares a meal for Yukio, and they discuss the increased calls to the True Cross Order helpline. They finish their meal, and Yukio thanks Rin, asking if he's hiding something because he looks cheerful when he does hide something. Rin denies hiding anything. At night, Kamiki sees a cute dog and asks where it came from. The dog transforms into Mephisto, who tells them a special extracurricular class will begin, involving battling demons lurking all over the academy. He assigns them the target, a family portrait, which was part of his prank. He moves away, and they discuss why he calls it a family portrait. Rin instructs them to slash the painting, but when he does, spirits attack them. Kanekamaru grabs his hand and takes him inside a barrier, explaining the attack came from spirits possessing the painting, shapeshifters. He assigns duties to everyone. He tells Kamiki not to keep her distance in battle and Moriyama to be more confident. He doesn't assign anything to Takara because he can't help. Rin asks about his duty, and Kanekamaru assures him they won't rely solely on him, but he'll be their ace in the hole, providing moral support during battles. Moriyama produces a barberry plant and casts an awakening spell on them to protect them from the shapeshifter. They see a larger demon breaching their barrier. Kamiki expels a spirit onto the shapeshifter, but it reverts. Kanekamaru recalls Mephisto's words about the family portrait and notices 3 paintings with the same frame. He tells Kamiki to expel spirits on them, but it doesn't work. He tells them to attack the paintings simultaneously, and they succeed. Somewhere in Yemen, someone talks about the son of Satan who defeated the impure king in Japan and decided to display his power as a paladin to protect people from demons. He attacks Mephisto, making his body burst into bubbles. He assures them everything will be in complete harmony, and then his body disintegrates. Rin gives the eye drop to Godayan, who asks about his tail. Rin decides not to hide anything and reveals he is half demon, feeling scared but lucky to be surrounded by great people, and leaves. In the meeting, Yukio told the members the rules of the Morinath contract. The first one is no questions during this meeting, and the second one is they may not reveal the content of this meeting to anyone. He told them if they agree with these conditions, they have to seal the Morinath contract with their blood, and all did. He introduced himself as Yukio Okumura, a member of the Japan branch and an intermediate exorcist first class. Someone in the meeting asked about Tadu. He mentioned Tadu was a paladin candidate who was dedicated to his mission and a master of exorcism. He was a creepy man, and he will kill it when he gets a chance. Lightning in the meeting said Yukio was the polar opposite of the vulgar Rin Okumura. Yukio got the result of his physical and was happy to know there were no issues but surprised at how he inherited the Satan flame after all. After that, he could go back home where he met Rin Okumura. Yukio told him there are no classes at cram school, but he should prepare for them. He's also busy because he has to meet Shiremi. Rin asked if they both are dating, and he replied maybe. Yukio met Shiremi and started helping her study. He also asked her about her mother who went shopping. He went in the past when Shiremi was taking online courses, and he was tutoring her like this. Yukio asked his father about raising them and why Lord Felis allowed them to exist, but his father couldn't reply. He told him he would get answers at the right time and decided to stifle his emotions and believe in his father, but his father himself was killed, and his questions are still unanswered. He went to Mephisto and asked about what happened with his brother and also him. Mephisto told him he would take over them as a guardian and sent Rin to the exorcism cram school. He was instructed to keep an eye on him, taking over Fujimoto's job as a cram school instructor. Mephisto kept an eye on him, and he was summoned to the meeting at the Vatican. He had to seal the contract with his blood. After that, he came out of the past and started talking with Shiremi, who mentioned when they were in junior school, he also tutored her, and it was kind of fun. She also thanked him for helping her study and smiled. Yukio told the students about their special extracurricular class tomorrow. He mentioned that various demons have been running rampant across the school lately, and they have to fight with them tomorrow. He also mentioned they will take on Mayuko of the girls' restroom because Mayuko is an evil ghost who haunts the girls' dorm, and she must be exorcised. He reminded them that Mayuko only appears before women. He made Kamiki and Moriyama leaders of tomorrow's battles. Moriyama got too excited, but Kamiki didn't. Kamiki told her friend that since the end of summer break, she became crankier than usual because Moriyama rescued her. She also mentioned she didn't have any reason to hate her, she just didn't want to make friends and get close to anyone, that's all. The next day, they all reached Kamiki, making her expel spirit spells Yuke and Mike. Kamiki and Moriyama reached the restroom and saw coal tar everywhere. They both decided to check the stalls first. They checked all the doors, and one door was locked. Moriyama knocked on the door and asked to open it. Light turned out, and Kamiki opened the door aggressively. They saw an evil ghost, which is a cluster of women's evil thoughts behind them. Moriyama made Nei into Greenman gigantic, and Kamiki asked Mike and Yuke for help, but they refused because their spiritual power would be sapped. The evil ghost attacked them, but Nei saved both of them. Moriyama asked Nei to produce some non-glutinous and mochi rice and gave them to Mike and Yuke. The evil ghost attacked Moriyama. She was about to die, but Kamiki with her expelled spirit spell attacked the evil ghost and made her die, saving Moriyama. Everyone appreciated them for their excellent performance. Somewhere in Russia, all the members saw the Gehenna Gate, which is man-made, not Satan. Gehenna Gate spread rapidly, and they moved out. Lightning mentioned he knows the enemy now because current science could actually pull this off. Mephisto created a barrier with the gate at its center and stopped time inside, but he could only stop time for 4 to 5 minutes. He mentioned if it spreads, a cataclysmic disaster is sure to happen. Lightning told them there is only one organization armed with this much technology and financial might, and the enemy is Illuminati. Tadu congratulated the commander-in-chief on the opening of the Gehenna Gate. All the team members talk about the Illuminati spies within the True Cross Order. They only come to know how many there are in Order Shura to find out the spy in the Japan branch. Shima and Rin Okumura look forward to the school festival because they have never taken part in any festival since elementary and middle school. They ask every girl to dance, but everyone refuses. Rin Okumura requests Kamiki to come with him to take part in the festival, but she refuses because the annual exorcist certification exam is only 3 months away, and she wants to pass it on her first try and move on. Shima tells them exams happen every year, but the school festival happens only once, and he wants to enjoy the brief days of youth. Shima and Rin both agree on it. Shima asks another important woman, but she also refuses, so they decide to find someone on their own. Shura sees many youngsters having fun, but one boy stands alone, and she asks him why he's not joining the others. He cannot reply and moves away. She comes to know his real name is Ninya Takara, who is the son of the CEO of the toy company and has been enrolled in this academy since his 2nd year. A few days later, Rin and Shima feel bad because they've asked about 20 girls, but every time they strike out. Suguro tells them about a girl in their class who asks Bon to go with her, but Bon turns her down, leaving her in tears and mentioning that Bon took severe damage to the soul. Rin wants to be in his place, and Shima curses Bon. Bon tells them school festivals are like the handiwork of Mara, and they just leave their wandering souls to come to a peaceful end. At the same time, Shiremi comes and tells them she will study with them because she passed the admission test for transfer students, and Yukio helped her. Yukio calls her to the faculty room, and she moves out. Rin decides to ask Shiremi to the festival. Some girls come to ask Yukio to dance at the festival, but he refuses because he is a member of the festival staff. Moriyama and Shiremi ask Kumiko to join them for lunch. During lunch, Moriyama tells her about the school festival and mentions she has to go with a partner. At the same time, Rin comes and tells her about the school festival dance. She replies that she also wants to talk about this with him and mentions she decided to ask Yukio to dance. Rin is shocked, and Shiremi mentions she has a feeling that Yukio has stuff on his mind, and she just wants him to forget it all. Rin tells her this is a good idea and moves out. Shiremi asks Yukio to dance at the school festival, but he refuses and thinks Shiremi must go with Rin. Shura comes and asks Yukio about his feelings for Shiremi, but he refuses to have feelings for her. Shura calls Mephisto to come to know the secrets because he is an Illuminati spy. Shiremi asks Moriyama whom she will dance at the festival because Yukio refused, and Rin is not talking about all this. Moriyama asks her whom she likes the most between them, but she replies she likes both of them as friends. Rin decides to forget about the dance and focus on his school project. Shiremi hears all this. At night during dinner, Shimi's mother tells her to help her tomorrow at the festival, and they can earn a good amount, but she replies she is already involved in the part of the monster, so please let her slip out a few times. Next school festival happens, and every student enjoys it. Rin goes to Kamiki and begs her to put on a dress and help them with the work, mentioning he cannot ask Moriyama and Shiremi because he feels awkward. After some time, she agrees. Moriyama gets ready for the festival and also asks Kamiki to join, but she replies she was only asked to work as a vendor, not to dance. Godayan tells Rin to take a break, and he agrees. When he moves, he thinks that he should come with Shiremi, and he sees Shiremi. Shiremi tells her she came here to deliver some flowers backstage, and Rin tells her he just made rice balls. Rin asks her to dance, and she is surprised to hear this and thinks she likes him. Rin grabs her hand, and they move. They reach Yukio and ask him to dance. They all start dancing in a circle, enjoying themselves. Kamiki goes to the festival, where Ninya Takara stops her and asks her to go with him. Please subscribe to our channel for the latest update.